This is the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting. Americans don't often think about our national freight network, but everything from food to appliances must travel from one point to another efficiently. The economy depends on it.
In short, this is about competitiveness, and if America's competitive, we're able to create the jobs that the American people want to see.
Our freight cargo network serves every state, every community, and indeed every household in America.
House Republicans and Democrats stood side by side Tuesday, October 29th, to deliver a common message and a bipartisan report titled Improving the Nation's Freight Transportation System, authored by the 11-member panel on 21st Century Freight Transportation, chaired by Representative John Duncan, Jr., Republican from Tennessee, and Ranking Member Gerald Nadler, Democrat from New York. The special panel of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee was established by full committee chairman Bill Shuster, Republican from Pennsylvania, and Ranking Member Nick Rahall, Jr., Democrat from West Virginia.
This panel operated in a very bipartisan manner, and I'll tell you, you can see this even in the way the members have stood here today. You've got a Republican, a Democrat.
After holding a series of public forums across the country, the panel drafted a list of recommendations, which include directing the Secretary of Transportation to establish a comprehensive national freight policy and designate a freight network across all modes of transportation. It also recommends incentives be created to encourage additional private investment, and it calls for robust public funding, including dedicated, sustainable funding for multimodal freight projects of national and regional significance.
I am pleased that the panel recognizes the specific need to authorize guaranteed funding for these critical freight projects, which often face significant hurdles securing funding under current federal aid highway programs.
The panel's recommendations come on the heels of the overwhelmingly bipartisan 417-3 vote in the House October 23rd, passing the Water Resources Reform and Development Act of 2013. That bill must now be reconciled with a water resources bill approved by the Senate. And now, more news from AASHTO's Annual Meeting 2013 Denver. Nearly 700 participants, including state DOT representatives from 49 states, attended this year's annual meeting from October 16th through the 21st. In his welcome statement to the Board of Directors, Colorado DOT Executive Director Don Hunt described his agency's ongoing response to the mid-September floods, which claimed at least 8 lives and caused an estimated $300 to $500 million in damages to highways, roads, and bridges. After commending CDOT's heroic efforts to reconnect isolated communities and reopen the state's critical transportation arteries, Governor John Hickenlooper turned his attention to long-term transportation funding. The governor said a new federal highway and transit bill must be approved next year, and he said grassroots support begins by building strong relationships in every state.
And I think that's the challenge that you guys have as state officials, is to help foster that kind of relationship between the big city mayors and the suburbs, or whatever your local planning constituencies are. It allows us the opportunity to really get, we're falling behind, you all know this, falling behind what our infrastructure demands are, and that's going to reflect directly on our ability for our economies to grow at the rate they should grow. You guys are pretty much at the foundation of all of this.
And finally, from the AASHTO Annual Meeting, an announcement that the $1.7 billion Utah Department of Transportation I-15 Corridor Expansion Project won the America's Transportation Award Grand Prize. And the Missouri Department of Transportation Safe and Sound Bridge Improvement Program won the People's Choice Award for earning a majority of the more than 300,000 online votes cast this year. Both state DOTs also earned $10,000 cash prizes, which can be used for a scholarship or a charitable donation. The annual awards are sponsored by AASHTO, AAA, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. That's the Transportation TV News Update. Thanks for watching.